Physics, the chemist, the lane, collateral for Kendrick, whenever exchange, compatible for riches, for more.
Open Stage would like to acknowledge the Susquehannock peoples, upon whose unceded land we produce this show. Open Stage commits to the work of dismantling the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism and the exclusions and erasures of many indigenous peoples that continue today. At Open Stage, we also believe that Black Lives Matter, and you should too. That belief starts with acknowledging plainly how the systems we depend on often operate as if they don't. We at Open Stage proudly stand united with Black people and communities of color during this movement of unrest and uprising. This show is brought to you by Open Stage, a professional theater company. Check out Open Stage's complete list of shows, all of which are offered completely free this season at openstagehbg.com. Thank you and enjoy the show.
You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war. Bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality.
Cute. Look how nice y'all look. Oh my goodness. Everybody looks so nice. Hi, everybody. Hi, friends. Hi. Welcome to the Black News Beat. You guys are so great. I always say, hey, Sibs, welcome. We're here at another week, and we always got a lot to talk about. We always have a lot to talk about. I don't even understand. Every time I leave this stage, 5 more things happen to Black people, and I want to know why. That's always the question I'm asking. So we're going to answer some of those questions tonight. But first, hey, Brianna, did you share the stream? Listen who we got here. Jill, you look nice. Look at that. Ooh, them shoes. Do you share the stream? Yeah. Tom, you share the stream? Absolutely. You share the stream? Oh, you guys are doing so good. I heard the instructions before. Listen, share the stream. We might get famous, all of us. I mean, some of y'all are already famous. Look, we have some powerful people tonight in the house, okay? So share that stream. Share it with your friends, your mom, your dad, your cousin, even some of your enemies, right? Because, you know, they could be a source. They could be a source of inspiration, okay? So let's check in. How y'all doing? Y'all good? Ask me how I'm doing. How you doing? I'm doing great. I'm a little sad. As some of you may have seen, I had to return my loaner today. It was a Lexus RX 350, y'all. It was so nice. 2021, though, they were slipping a little bit. They usually give you a current car, like 2022, but they were like, we don't have those. And I was like, wow, what happened? They were like, we sold them. And I was like, well, what if I want to buy one? Oh, it's going to be $10 million. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait, hold on to my little 2004, and see how far that takes me. Congratulate me, because I just reached 206,000 miles. And they're taking bets at the office, at the dealership, to see if I could get to 300. So y'all wish me luck. I'm crossing my fingers, because it's expensive to have a new car right now. Did y'all see the interest rates? Did y'all see the prices, how they done price gouge folks up to, like, I think it's 20% more for the price of a new car? I was like, I was feeling all fancy and sexy in my new loaner, and I was like, I looked at that sticker shock, and it was a shock indeed. So the other thing that was really great this week was it is National Lunch Day. Did y'all know that? And I made a fabulous lunch. I got some new pots. I am 40, and I just became an adult because I just got a real pot set. Do you know what it means to get a real pot set? It is so nice. It's so nice. Oh my God. I'm not gonna say the brand because I'm gonna get y'all to get me a sponsorship, okay? Because them pots is damn expensive too. But I made, in the slow cooker, because you know it's not a crock pot when you have expensive ass pots, it's a slow cooker. I made a really great soup. If you guys didn't notice, my waistline is disappearing. Thank you. And that is because I've been trying to do low carb. Let me tell y'all, they lied to us about carbs. I just wanted y'all to know that. They lied. They lied about sugars and fats. They lied about all those things to us growing up. So I want you to know that low carb diets are good for you, and they are great. And they've really been helping me. So I made this really great soup. I'll tell you what was in it. It's a little beef, a little red chard, a little edamame, because I'm fancy. You gotta put a little edamame in there like that. You gotta, with the hand, you know you. And then I put a little, what else is it? Some cauliflower, and that's it. And I let it sit in that slow cooker overnight, and it was a dream. Chinese 5-spice on everything. I already said that on the show once. Chinese 5-spice, y'all. It is delicious. Made the soup turn out so hearty and good. So National Lunch Day, if you didn't eat a wonderful lunch day, guess what you can do tomorrow? Eat a great lunch? Yes. So you can celebrate tomorrow, right? So tonight our guests are so amazing. I mean, it's just, when we put up the graphic for these guests, people were like, oh my God, I'm coming. And guess what? Y'all showed up. Thank you. So that was really great. So tonight we have, help me welcome Miss Gillian Sumpter. Mr. Thomas Johnson. And last but never least, Miss Laurealle Collins. Woo, that's what I like. This is the crowd we need. This is the crowd we always need. And what I tell everybody is talk back. Like if you hear something, you're like, oh man, that's crazy. Say it out loud, okay? But before we get to our amazing guests, what's going on in the country, y'all? Because y'all know a lot's going on. Let's sweep these streets, see what's going on. Well. The first person we have to talk about again, and probably forever, is Supreme Court Justice Katanji Brown Jackson. Yes. On April 7th, Judge Katanji Brown Jackson was confirmed as the 116th Associate Justice of these United States. The first Black woman and the third Black person in the nation's over 200-year history. So we're still hitting first in 2022. Can you imagine? We just got to this first? What? That's terrible. But yes, a monumental accomplishment, right? And of course, there has been controversy throughout the process. From the demeaning way Judge Brown Jackson was treated to the praise she received from taking the mistreatment so well, right? We know that. You know how that happens. Oh my God, you held your composure in that meeting? Well, good for you. You did such a good job. Instead of punishing the bad behavior, right? We know that very well. So she was lauded as the prototype for #Black Excellence, as always. And speaking of Black excellence, how might we recognize that it's rooted in the ideas of American exceptionalism? So while we celebrate individual personal achievement, do we see the importance of not conflating it with communal liberation? And this is the last thing I want to say. That was deep. I'll say it one more time. So while we celebrate individual achievement, it's always good to do that. Do we see the importance of not conflating it with communal liberation? One of us winning does not guarantee that all of us win. This is a collective effort, and we have to keep acting like it's a collective effort, right? And last thing I want to say, okay? And I know how y'all like to tussle. I know y'all like to fight. Y'all didn't waste no time, putting her in some clouds? With Betty White? And Harriet Tubman? Who else was in the clouds? Nipsey was in there? Who else? Why did y'all put Katanji in the clouds? I just need to know. But anyway, that's what we do for every one of them. They put them in, here she go, and there go all the array of Dr. Sebi was in the cloud. Everybody was in them clouds. And so, Lord, this next topic. Father, we're almost done talking about this. Now, as we enter into the end, we're hoping we're nearing the cycle of who the hell cares about this, but the slap heard around the world is still ringing in folks' ears. I know, listen, now, let's take a poll real fast. Who thought that the slap was a good slap? Yeah, clap. Oh, see, nobody. It wasn't a good slap to warrant all of this controversy. I won't tell on who, but I was slapped a couple times in my life as a teenager because I was a smart mouth, and nobody could tell that I have a smart mouth. But I was slapped a couple times, and I'm just saying, Chris Rock, you didn't get it that bad, sir. For all this controversy, no. So on Friday, so now it's a couple weeks out, everybody's still talking about it. Will Smith, he's a brute. He's just such a terrible person. I'm not canceling Will Smith, so we can just send that idea to hell. The Academy banned Will Smith from attending any Academy events in any manner for the next 10 years. So he didn't go for 6. Who cares? Second, he can still win awards. So, this is dumb. So what you just gonna say? And Will Smith wins 9 more awards, and he can't come. I mean, what you gonna do? So, and of course, we'll start pointing out the hypocrisy. It's bullshit, right? It's not the fact that they were so. If you read the subtext and the pretext and the underneath text and the in between text of how they were talking about him, you would have thought that he was he was Harvey Weinstein. Oh, he disgraced the Oscars. Did he disgrace the Oscars? As a friend of mine pointed out, they have been disgraced for a long time. Please stop. Don't pretend like this is all of a sudden Will Smith's fault. Boo. And of course, folks are pointing out the blatant hypocrisy in the ruling, representing to some, right, the sheer uselessness of calls for black respectability. Listen, you don't have to be respectable to get along in this world, because for years, Will Smith was the epitome of who a black man doing the right thing in Hollywood, for the most part. He had a little couple of things here and there, but for the most part, he was doing the right thing. And one slap, they're trying to cancel him in his career, but black folks ain't canceling him. Next, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And it'd be interesting to see if there's ongoing fallout as some of Smith's projects have been put on pause, which is, again, ridiculous. Unpause it, please. He's going to do his work, he's going to be the best actor, and he's going to defend his family, and I respect it. I respect that. Now this story, did y'all hear about this? So, we got this ongoing thing in Ukraine. Okay. We've been hearing about how black folks are being treated in Ukraine. We talked about it on the show last time. And speaking of slapping, the U.S. Peace Corps is asking black folks not to slap any Ukrainians that call them the N-word. Well, sort of. As you know, Russia invaded Ukraine in February. I still don't understand why. Does anybody understand why that happened? Because I certainly do not. I don't get it. It's a lot of white people fighting over something that I cannot understand, and I'm really trying to figure that out. On the U.S. Peace Corps website for volunteers serving in the conflict zone, on the diversity and inclusion page, no less, there are several sections meant to inform volunteers of what to expect. Most of it is quotes from unidentified volunteers. Under the heading, Possible Considerations for African Americans or Black Volunteers. It is not uncommon for Ukrainians to refer to African Americans as the N-word. And it will be at your discretion to determine the intent. Now, let's just talk about intent. If you calling me the N-word with a hard R, what else is your intent? What else? Imagine going to a war zone and still having to fight racism. That's too much for me. I'm not going. I'm not volunteering. I'm not doing none of that. If you guys are over there fighting and your go-to is to call me the N-word when I try to help you, please go to hell. Whew, now we're coming up to my favorite segment. This is my jam. So we did a little rebranding. My writers made me do it. Shout out to my writers, okay? Let me tell you. We are a real production, okay? We have a studio and we have bomb-ass writers. So Cody Bird, number 1. In no particular order, but Julian Mallory is coming up right behind. And we have a blast. Let me tell you, I think Writer's Room is just as fun as the show, because we get in there, we cackle, we tell jokes, and then we come up with this good stuff right here. So thank you to my amazing writers. Right? So we did a little rebranding. So Movies in Melanin is now going to be Media in Melanin. Yes. One, because we're not just in movies. We're just not melanin in movies. We everywhere. So we all over the media, as we always have when we set the trends. We make things hot. So it's media and melanin from now on, okay? And we figured because we talk about more TV than anything, it was really the writers. I protested, and they were like, you can do it. Come on, you could do it. Decided to encompass all forms of media that showcases black ass excellence, period. First recommendation, has anybody seen Rothaniel with Gerard Carmichael? You guys, it's so good. It's so good. It's on HBO. No, Peacock. No, HBO. Child, go look for it. He's a native of North Carolina. He made his first debut with E. Carmichael on NBC between 2015 and 2017. Anybody seen that? Yeah. Yep. And then he had the Carmichael Show. That was on Netflix. He's been on a couple different places. And his HBO Max special, Rothaniel, directed by Bo Burnham, is set in a smoky jazz cafe before a live audience. The lighting was just, it made him, first of all, he's got this rich, chocolate, beautiful skin, and he looks so great under those lights. We even see a shot of him hugging his mom before he starts his show. Gerard starts the set by talking to the audience, and he says, one of my favorite lines, "Are you comfortable? This will only work if we're like family." Kind of like here, right? We're like family. Yeah. And this special set a new high for Gerard as he uses it to share with the world that he is a gay black man. And he talks about what that means and how he even came to that realization. And it's amazing. Gerard Carmichael's Rothaniel examines secrets and their toll on families in particular. Really good stuff. And for me, I think my favorite moment of the show is when he goes through his own thinking about his own gayness and masculinity and blackness. You have to watch to get a really new and fresh perspective on how he even perceives it and how it can help other people perceive themselves and their own sexuality. It's pretty amazing. So my second recommendation is Black Lady Sketch Show. You're missing out. Yeah, that was not enough claps for me. You're missing out. It's in its third season on HBO and HBO Max, with a beautiful black ass ensemble of women. Shout out to Quinta B forever though, because she was on the first season, and to me, I'm like, always bring her back. But I know she got her own thing now, and she's doing great with Abbott Elementary. I'm always gonna rep that show as well. And my favorite sketch from that show was Dr. Hadassah pre-PhD. She's one of my favorites, and I love the evolution of the character because they really started to soften her up and show like a little backstory on her. And so she has a little love interest. So you can check that out. It was really fun. Oh, did I mention spoilers? Haha. And then, sadly, the last episode, the finale of Bel-Air. First of all, spoilers, but not too many. I know. Wait, exactly. Who said it? You late. That was like 3 weeks ago. And me, knowing it's the finale, I keep checking. Is there another one? Did I miss something? Did I miss anything? It's a current favorite of mine, and it will be a long-lasting favorite for me, I think, because the way that y'all dragged this show immediately was unwarranted. I'm gonna say it again. The way y'all dragged this show was terrible because it is so good. And it's more of a reprisal than anything. It's not a reboot, it's not a remake. It's kind of like in that reprisal, it's like a, what do you call it? What do the artists call that when you bring something back and it's, thank you, a revival of it, but not necessarily, the same thing. But it was emotional, right? Marlon Wayans shows up and I believe him. Did y'all believe his character? Because I was so confused. I saw his face, I was like, you about to be funny? Oh, you not? Okay. I was like, oh, okay, this is new, but I believed it. And one of the things that I think is beautiful about this show, first of all, black people, obviously. Second, though, the exploration, again, this theme is really running through for me. The exploration of black, male, realness, emotional, every journeys, just how Will is dealing with information with his father. Like, all of it is so beautiful. So I really encourage you, if you haven't watched it, or if you shitted on it and was like, it's terrible, blah, blah, take another look. My favorite character, though, is still Carlton. Carlton's journey in the first season is really, really amazing. And at first, first I was mad as hell. I was like, Carlton. But then I kept watching, and I encourage you to keep watching too, because it was quite an amazing turn of events. Woo! Wow. This is all the things we should be watching. Send in your recommendations, and we'll do a special viewer's choice segment on our show. And you should be looking out for our Movies and Melanin segment at Midtown Cinema. It's coming up for sometime around the June month. We haven't decided yet because we be late on things. But we will tell you, you'll be the first to know, okay? So, we made it through all of that. That was fun. Y'all are a great audience. Okay, second of all, do you like my wig? I love this wig. Okay, girl, listen, I'm gonna be doing this all night, like this, like just in the camera. Like I just love this wig. Okay, so just want to say that. It's also, guess what? Upcoming events. Guess what's coming up? Juneteenth. My birthday. Yes, also Juneteenth. Also Juneteenth. Because people, they were like, ooh, why you dressed up tonight? I was like, it's my birth month. I'm showing out all month long. Okay, so yes. So we have some things coming up. One of the big things we're prepping for to this year in 2022 with YPOC, one of my amazing board members and membership director, Elise Erwish, just shouted it out, Juneteenth! Woo! Y'all, we have been planning since literally the day before the Juneteenth 2021 for Juneteenth 2022. We have been planning and toiling and pushing, and we really want I'm gonna say it right into the camera so everybody can see, and y'all see me here. This is about collaboration. This is about collective uplift. This is about a collective economic impact. That's what Juneteenth is about. After being robbed for generations of generational wealth, it's time for us to come together, right? Not just create it ourselves, but come together to foster an economic impact for this area and for the region, for the state, and we could be a real example for the rest of the country. So, look out for, are y'all getting our Juneteenth updates? They're on the YPOC page. We are planning a week long of events. Please come. If you want to learn more about it, you can meet us at Good Brothers on Saturday. We're every third Saturday of the month for board games and brunch, so we'll be there for that. We have happy hour at the end of the month. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for people to come and patronize the events. We're one of my favorite events, and I'll try to do a couple of showcase an event or two every show. We're going to have a community theater showcase right here at Open Stage, right? And the other thing I like to say in this segment is this show is a partnership between Young Professionals of Color and Open Stage. And we always like to give a shout out to Open Stage for lending us this space, partnering with us, and really understanding the vision of Black NewsBeat that is for us, by us. The writers is Black, everybody, the thoughts are Black. We have a lot of white people helping. It's amazing. It's delightful. So, with all of that, I want to say, join the YPOC, come to an event, keep updated with us. We have less than 60 days until our kickoff on June 12th. So please join us. We are so excited to have the whole city, the whole region. We're planning for all of South Central PA. We really want you guys to come out and enjoy these events. We have a concert. We have a Jubilee Day. We're even doing something with the city. We have a lot of surprises in store. So please join us. Thank you. Well, that is the end of the, oh, listen, these guests, you're really gonna enjoy these interviews, okay? So I will be right back with our first guest, and thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate your energy. This is great.
Are you looking to broaden your skills in digital media creation? Are you looking to be a part of a great team? Well, we need you. The Black News Beat will be trying to fill various positions to help make our show a great success. We'll be looking for tech assistants to help on set. We'll be looking for writers to help write the show every single episode. Also need digital media assistants. Absolutely need some live audience coordinator. We'd love to open up these opportunities to high school and college students. We'd love for you to intern with us and learn more about the business and get your feet wet with a great company at Open Stage. So if you're interested, please let us know. We'll be taking applications via email. You can email us at kimeka@kimeka.org. That's KIMEKA @KIMEKA.org. Hope to see you on the set soon.
Say microphone. Well, we're going to get her a microphone, and we're gonna keep talking. Well, in the meantime, I do, so testing 1, 2?
Testing,
All
1, 2.
right. So this is actually someone I've known in the community for a couple of years, and we actually just started in the last, like during the pandemic, actually getting to know each other a little bit more. So it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
New, closer friend, Jill. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's get into some questions. So girl, you busy. Kinda
Booked
like
and
me.
busy.
Booked and busy, period. Is there anything that you don't do? Yes. Is there anything that you don't do? Your second book, The Refining of a Diamond, drops on April 23rd.
Yes.
It is a follow-up to your first book, Crush Your Fears of Flying. Talk to us a bit about your books.
So the second book is actually an ebook. It's not a full-on book. And it is a follow-up, and it's something that I felt that it was necessary to do right now with a lot of changes that I have going on in my life. And I posted today that I turned my pain into profit. Mm-hmm. And so people are always asking me, like, when I have other pieces coming out, when I have other work coming out, and I just felt like this was the best time to do it. I'll be speaking at the Big Hat Brunch next weekend with Tiffany Hall. And she asked me to write about a theme. She wanted to know what the theme of my talk was, and it was the refining of a diamond. Mm-hmm. And so as I was writing my speech, it got kind of lengthy, and it went on and on and on, and I felt myself pouring into it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to turn it into an ebook. And so wonderful. That's where that came from.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be at that brunch, so I'm excited to hear you speak. Very excellent. So next question. You are passionate about bringing people together. You are even hosting introverted networking events. Why is connecting people important to you?
I think that making organic connections is very important, and authentic connections is important. I think that a lot of times, for a moment there, people were getting caught up in the clout aspect of things.
Absolutely.
And it was like, I'm really big on like real connections. And so I started the Introverts Networking because I'm actually I'm socially awkward, believe it or not.
Really?
And yes. Look, I'm sweating up here.
Me too. I'm worried about the sweat right now, Lord Jesus.
And a lot of my friends, I actually went out to LA, and I come up with like my good ideas when I'm traveling. And I was out in LA, and the idea came to me, and I hit up my girlfriend Doris, and I'm like, you think we could do this? And we started in my living room, and a couple of people that are in the audience as well were there. We started in the living room, and we started with like, I think about 6 or 7 ladies, and it grew into what it is now. It's like we have over like 70 participants each time that we do it. We are on a pause because of COVID. COVID spun a block on us, and so we did take a pause on it, but I have been getting a lot of inquiries about bringing it back. And so one thing I love about my community is that whenever I do something, everybody shows up.
Absolutely. That is the amazing thing about this community, for sure, absolutely. So let's get into some other things. So this is from, I know you're busy, right? We all are. But how do you make your busy schedule work? Do you have any tips for us on how you pull everything together, especially being a self-proclaimed introvert? My husband's an introvert, and so I see the toll it takes to do some of these really important aspects of the work. From an inside view. So how do you pull all that together? How do you make it work?
I would say that being intentional about balancing your schedule and balancing your life. Like, you can't just let life do you, and I'm big on that. And so if you were to come to my house, I have whiteboards and paper out everywhere with everything written down. I'm very intentional on what I want to do for each month, each quarter, and that's basically how I roll. And if things come up in between, then I can fit it in. But I'm just big and very intentional on balance. So it's like, I have kids, and I have work, and I have business, and I have me, and I have to really like hone in on each one and be intentional. Again, you can't say, oh, today's Sunday, what am I going to make for dinner? You have to have that figured out earlier in the week,
That's
and so in the beginning of, or during the middle of 2021, I realized that, I want to become a millionaire. and not a fame millionaire. I want to be a wealthy millionaire.
That's right.
And so I noticed that.
Say it again. They missed it.
I want to be a millionaire in wealth. And wealth, you know, a wealthy person is healthy, it's spiritually, emotionally, mentally, the whole package. So it's not just about the fame. But I noticed that each millionaire or billionaire has a routine that they stick to. And that's when I started my journey, my weight loss journey, getting to that gym every day at 5 a.m., getting to work, being intentional on meditation and prayer and things to that nature. And so it kind of helps me just like be able to flow through life as it comes.
That's really fantastic. Yeah, routines are absolutely important. Absolutely. All right. And for our last question of the evening for you, but I do want you to come back and play a little game with us. But as an entrepreneur, you provide services to other entrepreneurs. What would you say is the most common mistake that new entrepreneurs make?
For me, it would be expecting support right away. You have to. Yeah. I'm about to preach now. When you're coming into entrepreneurship or you're coming into what it is you are passionate about, you don't go into it to make money. You don't go into it to make a name for yourself. You go into it because it keeps you up at night. You go into it because it's something that you can't sleep. It's constantly on your mind. You can't go into it thinking, oh, Johnny, Jane, and Sarah is going to come and support me, and then my name's going to be in big lights. That's not what it's about.
That's right.
And Kimeka, you and I do things behind the scenes all the time, and we had that talk before. I don't do things. If I should happen to be on a flyer, that's fine too. But a lot of the work that I do is behind the scenes. A lot of the work that I do is boots on the ground. I work with the homeless women in the city constantly, endlessly. We do all types of things. We work with the kids in the community behind the scenes. And so you have to go into what you're doing. You have to be passionate about it. It's not always about, we see these ebooks on making profit and things to that nature. That's fine. That's going to come. The money is going to come. But you absolutely have to be dedicated to what you would do it if no one else was watching.
That's right.
And so that would be like my biggest thing. Like if you're starting a business or you want to become an entrepreneur, don't do it because and don't cry about people not supporting you. Do it because it's in you, it's burning inside of you, and you wouldn't be able to live if you didn't do it. And so that would be my tip.
Amen. That's amazing. This has been a wonderful, short, but wonderful conversation with you. I am thankful for you in our community. You really shed a light. I've learned from you to how valuable it is to stay in the background doing things, right?
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I remember after that conversation we had, I definitely was like, you know what? She's right. We don't need our names to be in front of everything all the time. Society will kind of trick you into believing that is a necessity, but it's not. You can, if you're going to do the work, just like you said, you could do it without your name in lights. Absolutely right. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Wasn't that a great interview? Oh my goodness. We'll be right back with our next guest. See you in a second.
What's up? It's your boy Bill Bellamy. Guess what? It's going down April 13th. I'm coming back to your city. The word is out on the street. April 13th is going down at XL Live. Weekend Wednesdays. It's your boy Bill Bellamy, hosted by Talent. We on the work.
Well, we have another really great guest. So this is Mr. Thomas Johnson, and you're a comedian.
Yes.
You're a curator of events.
Yes.
You are a general good person.
I say yes.
And I went to one of your events last year that was super poppin'. It was the art event at Crown Plaza.
Yes.
It was a multimedia, vending, everything, and that was one of the coolest events I think I've ever been to.
Yeah, with that event, we definitely reached out a little bit to some local artists, and what we wanted to do was like a hip-hop art show.
Yes.
It's something that you don't see that often. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts by one of the
Yes.
artists there, Darius Davis. So
Yes, Darius Levine is one of our
big
faves.
shout out. But it was just something different for me to put my hand into and try it to see how it worked, and it worked better than I thought it would.
It worked amazingly. That was one of the nights I talk about up until yesterday. And we're actually basing an event for Juneteenth off of what you did.
Oh, well, I give myself that pat on the back. I didn't know that.
So let's get into some questions about you. How long have you been performing comedy, and what's that journey been like?
Well, I first started in high school, but I never actually got to pursue it. It was just something that I did in high school. But I'd say about 5-6 years ago, I just had that itch. You know, I went to big comedy shows, and I'm like, I think I could do this. So I did it. Big shout out to Jeff Stanton. Jeff Stanton gave me a chance to perform at one of his shows.
Curates amazing comedy events.
Yes,
Absolutely,
he does.
yes.
And then from that point, I met up with a few other comedians from Baltimore. Met up with a few other event promoters from Baltimore. They wanted me to come down. That got me to go to DC. So just reaching out and networking to different people is how it actually grew and has been for the past 5 years.
Now, Baltimore, interestingly, has an amazing array of talented people, and it's not even that far from us. It's right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing. So who are some of your comedy? I heard you say you go to big shows.
Yes.
So who are some of your comedy influences in that?
My
in that area?
3 comedy influences are always going to be the same: Red Fox, Richard Pryor, and Eddie Murphy.
Wow.
Those are my 3.
Old school. I
Those
love
are my
it.
top 3. They've taught me a lot. They haven't taught me personally, but
Yes.
just watching them, you know,
Yes.
I've learned a lot from them, and those are my 3 biggest influences, period.
But that's amazing. So did you? I forget what show he was at, but one of the persons who does some promoting here went to a show where T.I. somehow ended up in the lineup. He got booed?
Well, T.I. is a different beast. He's already famous, so you have to earn your dues in the comedy
That's
world. You
right.
can't just go out and grab mics from people. You can't do that. You have to earn your right. You have to earn to be there, whether you're funny or not. You still have to earn your strikes and get to the top to where you want to be. So, I'm a T.I. fan musically, but I'm not a T.I. fan comically.
Is he really trying comedy for real?
He is, yeah. He's
Okay,
actually
well.
putting his foot in it. He is.
All right.
He is.
I don't think he's funny. Next. All right. So, so you're also a professional host.
Yes.
I'm trying to get like you. What's the hardest thing about hosting that most people might not be aware of or take for granted?
Honestly, just focus. I think just a lot of it is focusing on the task at hand. I'm here to host whatever event it is, whatever show it is, other than there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm usually 100% aware of everything that's going on, but I still need to focus on what I'm doing to get the job done and produce a good show, host a good show, whatever it is that I'm doing. And like I said, with everything that's going on in the background, it's noticeable, but you have to perceive as though I don't see none of that.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I remember one show here, there was like 9 things happening. The mics was acting up. The sound was going crazy. And people
Right.
were like, you just soldiered on. I was like, I didn't even notice. I had a
As you
singular
should.
like I knew, but I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like I
right,
knew,
right.
but I knew that we could get through it. So yes, I agree with that focus. And so my last question for you is, what are some ways you'd like the comedy industry to expand and evolve?
Well, one thing that I did during COVID was my backyard comedy. And that's been
a big hit.
Yes, it's
That's been a big hit.
thank you. It took off bigger than I thought it would. So honestly, just thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
During COVID, I was in my backyard and I was sitting there just enjoying myself personally. And I looked in the backyard and said, you know what, I think I have a venue here.
Absolutely.
I was able to have people come through, also be able to socially distance.
Yes.
I have food vendors, I have camera vendors, I have pretty much every type of vendor.
Every type.
It's BYOB, it's bring your own chair, and it's come and have a good time, and just thinking more outside the box of just regular comedy shows, like what 85 South is doing. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. It's totally outside the box. And again, my backyard comedy's out the box, so make sure y'all check that out as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, like I like to say, an amazing inspiration. Like watching you evolve, watching you pivot during COVID, has been an amazing inspiration to watch. When I started, I was like, who got them big ideas? Yes, like these are huge, awesome ideas that you're not just keeping at the idea level. You are bringing it to fruition, and I really
here
do
to share
applaud you
with
for
everybody.
that. That's amazing. That's amazing. So thank you for coming.
And thank you for having me.
And I need you to stick around just for one more second because I need you to be a lifeline to somebody in the audience who's gonna play a game.
Oh, I got you. That's not a problem at all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Let's go Justin. We will be right back with our last. Okay, before we introduce my last guest, are you guys enjoying yourselves? Yes. Okay. Listen, I can feel it. Y'all having just, the energy is amazing, and I want to just say thank you to you guys for being so amazing. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we have one more guest for you, another amazing person, brought probably half the room. So I will tell on her a little bit. So I said, hey, you have any guests? Nothing. Hey, you got any guests? Don't forget your guests. What about your guests? Last minute, 97 guests. L'Orealle, how are you?
I'm good.
How's everything? You look amazing. I always like to take in fashionistas look a little bit. So your lipstick's amazing. The jacket is fantastic. Absolutely. Okay. Jacket is fab. Yes. Always a look. Always a look. And so, you know, we go. That wasn't her. That seat is very disrespectful.
I can't sit down slow.
Me neither. Listen, I be breaking things. People are like, oh my God, how'd you break that chair? Because I sat down real hard.
Yeah,
so
they
anyway.
said it earlier and I still didn't listen. I don't listen, y'all. I do not listen.
And we try to warn people about that chair, but that chair is a disrespectful chair. So, so are you originally from Harrisburg?
Yes. I get that a lot. Do I look like I'm from somewhere else?
Yes. Absolutely. You look international, baby. It's amazing.
Worldwide.
So, where are you from in Harrisburg?
Ooh, I'm from the South Side.
South Side. Hey. So one of the things that really attracts me to your branding and how you've really evolved, so I've been kind of following you for a little while, and how you've evolved over the years, the last like 3 or 4 years of just like watching. You came to one of our holiday parties 3 years. Yes. Child, that was so long ago.
I need to get back with y'all.
Yes, please. Fun. The last one, you missed the last one was dope. But anyway, back to you. Yes. So you have really evolved, and it's kind of always been like this, but you use a lot of bright colors and standout patterns, and the combination is extremely unique. My favorite piece right now is that yellow and black, the neon yellow and black, I think it's like the 2-piece. I want that so bad. Okay. That's what I want. But tell me how you got to, how your creative style has evolved and how you got into this kind of patterning and color work that you do.
Ooh, I always loved colors. But it made me stick out when I was younger, so I stopped for a little while. And then I went through a whole bunch of things in life, you know, and I got just to a point, you know how to cuss word?
Yes.
Okay. I got to a point where I just was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going wherever I want, no matter who's looking, no matter who got something to say.
I love it.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. No, seriously, sometimes you have to get to a point where you're just like, you know what, fuck that. Fuck what they think.
Yeah, wait, you can't worry about that.
Fuck what they saying.
I get dressed and just like, I'm
and
just
walk outside, period.
Straight ahead, I can't worry about.
Listen, I saw your walk video you did. I was like, yes, I'm gonna walk with you. Where's she going? What's she wearing? Like, it's very engaging, engaging, and I very much appreciate that. My other favorite are those custom bamboos you made with the rhinestones.
Yes. Yes.
I need everything, but I need
think that's a big hit. Those are a big hit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they're amazing. Check those out, guys. Yes. So the next question I have for you, I see that. Tell me about the Gifted name. So you have that name Gifted. So you have. I ran a commercial when I saw you at Thomas's event last summer. I was running your Gifted commercial. So tell me about the Gifted brand and why Gifted.
Ooh, okay. So the name, I couldn't think of a name like something creative, something different. I didn't want to initially use my name, so I was like, what can I think of? And Gifted and Blessed were 2 words that just always popped up in my life. So I made the brand Gifted, and just a few years ago, I found an old sheet of paper from before I started my brand that said Gifted, and it had the gift and it had all the things on there that like basically, like I feel like I named it before I really named it.
Yes, I love that. Woo! That gave me chills. Because you know what we call that now. Everybody's talking about this word. It's manifestation, right? So you manifested it before it came to be. Yes. And then when you look back and you're like, well, shit.
I keep that paper.
That's right, because it's inspiration to know that you actually are directing your life. Like sometimes life will be like, am I directing? Who's in charge here? But you look back and you're like, it's me. I'm doing it, right? So that's amazing. And then who are your style inspirations? Does anybody inspire you?
Style inspirations. I like Brooklyn Styles. Y'all gotta find her on Instagram if y'all don't know who she is already. I feel like she's kind of low key because she doesn't have a huge following, but she styles Megan Thee Stallion and a few other people that are like big in the game. Once you see her stuff, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see why she like her.
Okay.
So she's one of them. I like Balmain, that's a high-end designer. Those are probably my two.
That's awesome. That's nice. I'm gonna check both of them out. Thank you. And then last but not least, who is your ideal customer?
My ideal customer? Somebody who doesn't have to wear a uniform, and I say that like people that can wear what they want, or that don't dress like everybody else. Because you see a lot of people, most people, they work for the state, everybody dressing up, or casual now is not as dressy. Yeah. People that wear what they want, people that are bosses. Basically, if you a boss, you can wear what you want.
I love that. That's really excellent. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for inspiring. There are a lot of people in our area, in the city, who are doing inspirational work, but I really do feel that your avant-garde kind of nature, the way that you approach things with no holes barred, is to be emulated. I really believe that. I'm like, oh yes, you know what? I can do it because she did it. And I feel like people are looking at you just being in that creative, you really have come into your creative bag in the last year. Yes. Like I'm looking at what you're doing and I'm like, oh, she's hitting her stride. Like this is amazing. Thank you. So I really commend that. It's a huge kind of just empowering thing to just even witness it. So thank you very much. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Stick around for 1 second. We are right back with Last Lap. All right, we'll be right back with Last Lap. This is the part where we try to get on about our business. We'll be right back.
Calling all members of the greater Harrisburg community. We need you. We would love for you to join the YPOC and become a part of our leadership team. Would you like to join our board and get great perks and access in the community? Think about it and let us know. We'd love for you to contact us as soon as possible if you are ready. You can email us at info@ypoc-hbg.org.
Are we back? Oh, we're back. All right. Now, this is actually quite interesting. One of these things is not like the other. Hi, Liam. So this is my friend Liam. He's here tonight. He was Hey, Liam.
Hey.
He was pre-selected to help us play a game. As we may be aware, it is National Poetry Month. Did y'all know that? Yes, okay. So it is National Poetry Month, and I love poetry. I write poetry. I'm gonna read you something. Now, here's a little plug. If you do poetry, I'm accepting 15-second spots to be showcased between now and the 27th. So please send in, post it on your Instagram and then tag us. Post it on your TikTok and tag me. Post it on your Facebook and tag the show. We want to showcase your pieces. I'll steal them and put them on the show. We want to make a little catalog, make a little art out of your poetry. So 15 seconds. Please, somebody was mad at me. They were like, 15 seconds? I can't be, real diva. My piece is 2 minutes long. It's too long. I need 15 seconds. So with that in mind, this is the second non-black person I've had on the show. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So he's here. He was not a planned guest. He was pre-selected. So if you come to the show, you could win some money.
Wow. Listen, I think the universe knew I could use 30
That's right,
bucks.
$30. But you have some caveats because you gotta get some stuff right. You gotta get some stuff right. Blame Cody, he picked him. So he gotta get some stuff right though. So here's the rules. You get 3 chances to win. You can win. 1 question is $10, 2 questions is $20, 3 questions is $35. Cody made me say that. You get $35. You can do a lot with $35, right? I think. You can buy some candy. We can do some other things. Thank you, Ryan.
I love candy.
Right, me too. So, are you ready? These are all poem-related questions. They are multiple choice. The audience is your lifeline, okay? If you get it wrong and you didn't use the audience, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? All right. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. First question. Thank you. I need a drum roll. Can I get a drum roll? Ooh, that's nice. All right. Thank you. Where does the oldest poem in the world, titled Epic of Gilgamesh, originate? Are you ready? Where does the oldest poem in the world, titled Epic of Gilgamesh, originate? Is it A, Venezuela? Is it B, Ireland? Is it 3, Iraq? Or is it 4, Canada? That's the clue, actually.
Gilgamesh.
Yes, Gilgamesh is the clue.
It is Iraq.
Let's read our little prelude to find out. The oldest surviving poem is the Epic of Gilgamesh and dates from the 3rd millennia BC in Sumer, which is now Iraq. Very good. That's excellent. Very good. Didn't even need the audience. Wow. Okay. That was crazy.
Well, I did have Samaria called out from the audience. So.
All right. So somebody said Sumerian audience? Okay, good. All right. Yeah, we said they could talk, but now they're overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? All right. What is the name of the second question. What is the name of the longest poem in history? Is it Mahabharata? That's A. Is it Despedida? That's the second one. Is it Over the Wintry? Or is it In Praise of Amada? Would you like me to read those again?
Sure.
Sure.
Read them again.
You think he knows? Think he knows? Okay.
Anybody out there know?
Anybody out there? Is it Mahabharata?
Gilgamesh.
Is it? Is it Despedida, Over the Wintry, or In Praise of Amada?
I'm going to go with Mahabharata.
Mahabharata? The longest poem in the world is Mahabharata, an Indian epic poem dating from the 4th century BC or earlier. The poem has about 1.8 million words. What the heck? What? 1.8 million? 1.8 million words. That was very good. All right. Now this one, if you don't get this one, I'll be real sad because this is for all of the $35, okay? Now, if you're in the chat and you get this one right, you might get a little prize too. There's somebody monitoring the chat, all right? Ready. Last question. This is for all of the dollars, all 35, okay? Think about what you're gonna get. Think about what you're gonna buy. Might be an outfit. You know what I'm saying? Might be some candy. Okay. This famous type of short form poem, originally from Japan and consists of 3 phrases that contain the kareji or cutting word. The kareji or cutting word. Is it A, the tanka? Is it B, the renka? Is it C, the haiku? Or is it A, B, C, D, the haikai?
Could you read the question again?
I shall. Because he said
this is a tricky one.
This is the tricky one. This famous type of short form poetry, originally from Japan, it consists of 3 phrases that contain a kareji or cutting word. Is it A, tanka? Is it B, renka? Is it C, haiku? Or is it D, haikai? Okay, do you need the audience?
What do you think, audience? I'm gonna have to say I believe it's between either. I'm not answering.
Okay, you're not answering.
It's between A and B.
It's between A and B. Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not gonna qualify that. I don't know.
And hey Ryan, what is it?
Yeah, Ryan's in the audience.
I'm gonna go with A.
Okay,
A.
that's what I think. The top.
You're gonna go with A?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
it's
no, was it
haiku.
What? Oh, so easy.
Oh my God! Congratulations! So you win $20. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Wow. Well, this has been a delightful evening. Give yourselves a hand. All right. So, I want to give a shout out to 2 people who are not here tonight. My husband, Basir. Love you, babe. He's under the weather tonight. He'll be back soon. And I want to give a shout out to also Gib, our other showrunner. He's out today too. He's actually doing theater this evening. He's actually practicing. But those shout out to our 2 folks. I always miss them when they're not around. So love you guys. See you soon. And I didn't have any questions this week, but submit your question. Actually, I did have a question. Somebody said, how are you still a doctor? You cuss all the time. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all don't know that I fucking cuss all the time? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, calm down. Yes, I cuss all the time, guys. Okay. So let's talk about we got a couple. Ooh, look. Give 5 minutes to spare. You would never believe it. This is crazy. So every show I send somebody to hell. PA politics. Did y'all see that at least 2 black women got kicked off the ballot for the upcoming primary? Did y'all see that? Yes, honey. 2 of my faves got kicked off the ballot. We won't mention them here because it might be a little painful. But really, I want to send the whole process of kicking black women off the ballot, not just black women, but kicking people off the ballot to hell. I spent a couple of hours in the courtroom where the challenges and the contests were happening. Petty is all I have to say about what I witnessed. Y'all, I sat through a 20-minute explanation of why a person who voted and signed their names on a petition form, why their signature should be cast out because the cross of the T was in a different position between the 2 signatures. This is in court. This is in court. This is what your tax dollars are going to for them to sit up here and go, oh, well, the T don't look the same. On 200, 300, they challenged all 300 signatures. It was wild. And so I haven't sat in election court in a long time in the petition court because it took all day. We were there I only got to sit through 2 contests because the second one took hours. They challenged every motherfucking signature they could. It was crazy. And so what I will say though is pay attention to how you sign your driver's license and how you sign the voter book. If they are different, it's allowed to be challenged. And that to me is just one way that you can disenfranchise, especially black voters, out of their vote. So when people say, oh, your signature doesn't matter, it matters for this the challenge court to get on the ballot, it matters. So you pay attention to that. And when you sign these things, don't sign Mickey Mouse because it is dependent upon you, the voter, right, to get these people onto the ballot. So sign those petitions, sign them properly, sign them with your whole name. Don't leave the information off because they will challenge it. If you have one address, letter number in your address off, they will challenge it and get it off. They will and kick your preferred vote, your preferred candidate off the ballot. All right, so that process can go to hell. So anyway, be kind to yourself. This is the end of the show. 2 minutes to spare. Be kind to yourself. Love on yourself. You are worth it. You are worth the time you put into yourself. Okay? Because people will tell you that you must focus on a million things and split yourself 19,000 ways. No, your first order of business is you. So be kind to yourself, love on yourself, big up yourself, and when no one else tells you that you're great, tell yourself you're the greatest. You're the best to ever do it. See you next show. Good night. Wow.
You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war. The bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality.